Isn't she wonderful? Isn't she precious? Isn't she precious? Too much on my mind.
Hey guys, welcome back, or welcome. I'm really glad that you all are here. If you are new here, I am Alicia Simone, or Sammy, and I'm just gonna hop right into the video for today. Today we are talking about childhood trauma and how we begin to heal and move forward with our lives. So in preparation for the arrival of my daughter, I have been doing many things as far as making lists and checking boxes to make sure that everything will be ready for her when she gets here. But a big part of that I was not necessarily ready for was coming face to face with my childhood trauma. And I'm realizing that is a major component to the kind of life that I am able to provide for her, the kind of mom that I will be able to be. The amount of reflection and the amount of healing, the amount of action that I have taken in order to heal my inner child and get to this place of unlearning and actually taking steps in the right direction as far as being a responsible, healthy adult and parent. I have to do all of that. That's also a big part of being a responsible parent. It's not just, making sure that your child has everything that they need physically, which that is definitely important, but also mentally and emotionally. And so many of us have been dealt this hand of cards that have not been fair, that has been very unfortunate. And a lot of the reason that we have been passed on these things is because our parents haven't healed, our grandparents, our great-grandparents, and so on and so forth. And so it eventually trickles down to you. So what I'm realizing is that it's up to me for it to stop here. Will I be a perfect parent? No, I won't. But I will not, and I refuse to allow the things that I went through as a child to trickle down to my child. The things that I've been through in my life to trickle down to my child. If anything, that those things will bring to her is a healed mom, a mom that knows better, a mom that has learned, a mom that has did the work because the work is necessary, because it is going to be pivotal to the kind of life that she lives. And that's just how it's going to be, that's just what it is. So I know that I'm not the only person that is trying to live their best life, that is trying to, do what it is that they were sent here to do. But at the same time, you're dealing with all of these things from the past. You're dealing with all of this hurt and pain and learned behavior from growing up. So I just wanted to offer some of my thoughts on it. So there are many things that a child needs: security, stability, consistency, emotional support, love, education, positive role models, and structure. And if you were lacking in any of those categories or things growing up, most likely it means now that you're having to make up for that, or at some point in your life you've had to make up for that. You've had to unlearn certain things, you've had to heal from certain things. So number one, even though it's not your fault, it is your responsibility to heal. It is your responsibility to fix it. And the thing that I have been struggling the most with is the fact that it's not fair. It's not fair because I'm 24 years old and I'm trying to move on with my life. I'm trying to be this person that I envision in my mind. And it's so frustrating because I can't figure out why I react to things in a certain way, why I do things a certain way. And when you really think about it, the reason that those things happen is because of something that I learned in the past. Whether it was directly taught to me, whether it was something that I experienced or something that I seen, I learned it. And so now that I'm this big, grown, 24-year-old woman that's about to have a child of her own, I'm realizing like, oh my God, how do I move forward? How do I be the best version of myself while still battling all of these things that have been instilled in me in some shape or form? So no, it's not fair, but we're adults. And the unfortunate truth is that we have to do this. We have to do these things. We have to figure out what resources that we need. We have to figure out the conversations that we need to have. We have to figure out the boundaries that need to be placed. We have to find out what it is. We have to dig deep. We have to dig hard. And we have to be comfortable with being uncomfortable. And that is the most messed up thing to me in my mind, because we didn't do this. We did not do this. And I'm sorry. Please hear me from the bottom of my heart. For anyone that is going through this, I am sorry. If you didn't receive that apology, if you didn't receive that closure from the things that you experienced, I am sorry that you are going through this, but you can do this. You can do this. It may not be fair, it may not be easy, but you were built for this. This is a part of your story, and it's a beautiful story. And you have to continue to remind yourself of that every single day, that my story will not end here. My story will end beautifully. And that's in your hands. The trauma may not have been in your hands, but your healing is in your hands. Take pride in the fact that you're running things now. Take pride in the fact that you can determine what happens next, because you can. And you will. And I know so many people, including myself, that think if we avoid it, if we just act like it didn't happen, or if we acknowledge it, but act like it's not that big of a deal, it's all good, what happened, and not deal with it head on for what it is, it's gonna show up. And when it shows up, it's not gonna be pretty. Because when you're a child and these bad behaviors and these reactions to things happen, you're a child, you get a pass. But when you're an adult and these things come out and you're confused, people around you are confused as to what's going on, you're an adult. You are an adult. You are responsible for yourself and your actions, your responses, and the way that you do things. It is your responsibility. And not only will it show up in your actions or reactions, it can show up in your health. So I was watching this TED Talk earlier led by this pediatrician, Dr. Nadine Burke Harris. Dr. Nadine Burke Harris. She was explaining the likelihood to have heart disease, the likelihood of anxiety and depression, the likelihood of committing suicide, the likelihood of being obese, the likelihood of just not being a healthy person physically. So not only will it affect you and the people around you socially, it will affect your health physically. So if you want to live for a long time, we're going to have to find a way to fix what needs to be fixed. And as a kid, and as I grew up as a teenager, I used to think, okay, this is how I got myself through. I used to think, okay, if I can just get to 12, if I can just get to 16, if I can just get to 18 when I'm out of the house and I'm in college, now I'll be okay. In my childlike mind, I was just pushing my way through. If I can get here, if I can just get here, then everything will be okay. And yeah, I got out of the environment, but it had already had its effect on me internally. So no, everything won't be okay just because you're out of an environment. Whether it's an abusive situation, whether it's poverty, just because you're out of the environment, just because you're out of the situation, there are residual effects. And if you don't deal with those residual effects, you will create that environment for yourself, not even realizing it. You will create that toxic environment for yourself. And that's the messed up part about it. You'll be out of the situation and be in your own space and living your own life, so you think. But unconsciously, you'll look around one day and you'll realize that you created the same environment that you were trying to get out of. Sigmund Freud talked about our compulsion to repeat. As humans, we have this compulsion, we have this obsession with repeating the things that are familiar to us. If you have not gotten to a place in your life where those things are foreign to you, if you have not done so much healing that those situations are uncomfortable to you, that environment is uncomfortable to you, you will continue and continue to repeat. No matter how many relationships you jump in and out of, it's gonna be the same thing. No matter how many schools you transfer from and go to, it's gonna be the same thing. No matter how many new apartments you get, it's gonna be the same thing. No matter how much money you get, it's gonna end up being the same thing. And do you want to know why? It's gonna be the same thing. And would you like to know why? You are the common denominator here. So it doesn't matter where you are. It doesn't matter who you're with. It doesn't matter the lifestyle change. If you have not done the work, you're gonna continue to repeat the behavior. So these are hard truths that I have had to come to terms with, and it hurts. I empathize and I feel you. It hurts, it really does, because you want so badly to live this great life, but it just feels like something is constantly holding you back. Something that wasn't your fault, something that you didn't do, something that was out of your hands. And if it was up to you, you wouldn't have went through it. But now that you're trying to do all of these amazing things and be this amazing person that's going to change the world, you have these roadblocks that are hindering you from doing it. And you have to seemingly stop your progression in order to deal with those things. My story is my story for a reason. And I can sit here and feel bad for myself. I can sit here and feel ashamed. I can sit here and let other people try to shame me, talk down on me, make me feel bad for, once again, something that I was not in control of then. Or I can take it into my own hands and I can decide every single day that my story will be different. My child's story will be different. It doesn't have to end here. It doesn't have to stop here. You are so capable of doing the work. All it is making a decision every single day to do that. Every single day, no matter what, no matter what's going on around you, no matter what people think, no matter what they say, no matter how exhausting it can be. No matter if you take a big step that day or no matter if you took a small step, a decision in the right direction is a good decision. You're betting on yourself, you're betting on your future, and you're not allowing your past to control the life you live today, the life that you live in the future, and the life that your children and your children's children will have. As always, I love you guys. I appreciate you all for watching and spending this time with me. Once again, I am sorry for anyone that is having to unlearn and heal themselves. But just know that you can do this. Seek out the resources that you need. Talk to people. Surround yourself with people that care and love you. Not people that are going to tear you down or make you feel bad about this process that you're going through. Don't compare yourself to others, because we all have our own stories. We all have our own cross to bear. So while you may not be able to see one person's cross, while you may allow yourself to think, dang, they got it easier, I wish I was in that situation, be careful what you ask for. Carry your cross and carry it well. And live your life well enough that you can look back and be proud that you did the work. You did it, so that your children and your children's children wouldn't have to do the work for you. Take pride in your healing. Take pride in taking your life back into your own hands. You can do this. I love you all. Thank you for watching, and I will see y'all in the next video.
For your love, I'll take a bullet. You could plan that trip and I could just book it. You really the baddest, you don't just look it. Had the key to my heart and you just came and took it.